I have to attribute that brilliance to Mark Potts. He directed that character pretty flawlessly.
Been in the scene, be you.
Oh, okay.
No, your mom gave my favorite note on Spaghettiman, which was how did she word it? It was just you were just being you.
Yeah, she was like, the movie was great, but you weren't even acting, and that's an insult, Mom. I'm a brilliant actor.
I think it is what sets Clark off from other regular alter egos, is that Spaghettiman is an extension rather than of the coin flip.
Yeah, other than like other than like an improvement or the catalyst for change, Spaghettiman is Clark's way of being more Clark.
Yeah.
Like, oh, now I can use this to be more of a jerk.
Spaghettiman is the story of a man who exploits his own personality for commercial gain. I think that's my new pitch now.
Yeah, ultimately, I mean, what you see in the movie is kind of, I think, how we came up with the idea. Ben, your pitch was just he wears a paper sack because we thought it was funny that a guy wears a paper sack as a superhero.
Right. Yeah, and from my experience, it was like a kid would do it, and I feel like I'm a perpetual child, so that was. But then there's also like this. It's steeped in history, right? Spider-Man wore a paper bag mask. The Unknown Comic wears a paper bag mask. 4-year-olds wear paper bag masks. It's all, it's an American tradition.
It's one of the original models. I don't know if this is the one that this doesn't appear on screen. I don't think.
It
but
does
this
not.
is one of the ones that was made at the same time as the original.
And I will say I'm
fabricated.
I'm a brilliant art department. So if anyone's looking to hire Spaghettiman to work on their film, if you're looking to mock up some bags of your own, I can help you out. Yep.
I think I would almost say 70 to 80% of it was scripted. We all, the Heckbender, which is Ben, myself, Winston Carter, Bran Rackley, we met quite often and wrote it together, and those were kind of the moments we did a lot of exploring, like the improv of it, ad-libbing, things like different lines. Like I know there's some lines we had 4 or 5 different versions of it, but we stuck in the script what we thought was the best. So I think we would always do it by the script, and then there's always moments, each scene almost, there's always 1 or 2 moments where someone's like, let's try this line differently, or let's do this exchange. And so I think we took a lot of time scripting it out, but then we're free on set to kind of play around with it and try different things.
I have to give Mark a lot of credit because Winston Carter and I, who plays Dale in the movie, we both come from an improv theater background, and so our instinct is also, because we're incredibly lazy, our instinct is to not write anything and just try to rely on our sheer brilliance to pull us through, and respectively so, Mark insisted that we write a script and learn the lines
that are on the page.
Yeah, because that's what makes sense, and I think brilliantly so, because we fight on set to make up stuff on the spot, and then Mark will just play it back and show us how bad it actually is. So
the thing is, when you're going to do a lot of improv or ad lib on set, to know how it might fit into the rest of the scene or the movie. And I think I come from a background where I just over prepare to an extreme. Making shot list after shot list, and just preparing for the day, because also we're working for no money, and most of our actors, almost all of our actors, are working for no money as well. So we want to have the shoot be as painless and quick as possible for them. We want to say thank you for giving us 3 hours of your day. We're not going to keep you here 12 or 8 hours because you have no money. So I come from the background of just preparing so much, and which makes it nice on set when we want to do improv, because there's a time it could be funny, but it could totally mess up the next scene. It could totally mess up a few lines down the road. So I think it's fun to do that. It's fun to find those moments to punch something up to make it funnier, but you also have to make sure it's going to work down the line. I think I feel like a lot of movies that rely on improv run into that problem as well. Like, it just makes a scene here feel too long, so it doesn't work later on.
Yeah. No, Mark did a lot of work. I mean, we met up with Joe Cicero, who plays Keto in the film, is a kickboxer, Muay Thai fighter.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so we definitely leaned heavily on him. Mark and him. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't really contributing much besides, emotional support. But Mark worked out a lot of the shots and the shot ideas and his concept for how the fights were going to escalate. And then Joe, we brought his experience and expertise to the and the willingness to choreograph the actual fight moves that would be, appropriate and Spaghettiman would be capable of pulling off. I think.
So yeah, besides being Keto in the movie, he also choreographed that entire fight sequence.
Great,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was. I think it's one of those things where I would venture to say we approach those two fight scenes with hesitation, because it's like that's out of our wheelhouse, like choreographing a fight scene. The first one being trying to basically make it a no-cut fight scene, kind of replicate the church scene from Kingsman. That was something we were all really excited. I remember bringing that to the day that I was like, we should try to do that. All of us are just like, oh God, how are we going to do that? But then Joe was just gung-ho, so like his enthusiasm was, it sounds cheesy to say, was infectious, because it's great because I have all the iterations of the fight scenes recorded. Like the first time, we'd record it on the phone so we could watch it back. He would watch it. He would like watch it religiously and like change things, tweak things to try to fix it. And yeah, he did all that. And then the day, he probably worked harder than anyone when we were shooting that, because the first one was no cut, and then he really wanted to make the second fight scene like an ode to old kung fu movies.
Right.
And that's when we told our sound designer, like, put in a lot of like those noises, and I think it worked out really well, and he did a fantastic job. It would have been horrific without him.
Yeah, Joe has a completest knowledge of like old kung fu movies, and so there's a lot of influence that the references go well over my head, but I guess it's pretty accurate.
It's nice because I know comedies are hard enough to get in the film festivals, and then this is a very interesting and weird kind of comedy, and there are a lot of great films playing Dallas. And when we premiered at Oxford Film Festival this year, and there were a lot of great films playing there, and yeah, quite often they're very serious or serious subject matters, and they're dramas, and then this guy walks into a room and it's like, okay, this is either going to be met with hatred or hatred, and people like it, and it's kind of it's reaffirming that I think we did hopefully we did a good job. I think we did a good job, at least with the character design.
If nothing else, we could potentially get jobs at Hasbro when all is said and done. So I think that's
And in the end, it makes our Instagram feed look amazing.
we have we brought action figures.
Oh, it's over there. I have.
Oh, you want to go grab it?
Yeah, we have prototype action figures.
Yeah, and I think the way that we approach everything is, like the movie itself, even, it's such a ridiculous concept that shouldn't be taken as seriously as I guess we did, because it's not.
Alright, so here's the original.
This is the action figure for teenagers and adults.
Yeah, this is the actual.
This
action.
is if you're a serious collector, this is what you're gonna want.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is when you put in the display case. Take that every now and then.
And we actually made one for your 3-year-old, which is a little bag boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and if you want to reveal to the world the secret identity, you can go ahead and.
And then my favorite, you have the hoodie. You still have the hoodie too.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
What was the artist name who did this? We should plug.
Kimberly Tia at I think it's an Instagram page. Spelled how I just said it, at Kimberly Tia,
Yeah.
TIA.
She needs to Pinterest that. And people
Yeah,
sell
this is
like
great.
crazy.
And she makes a lot of. She made, like, the week before she made this one, it was Civil War characters. It was Captain America and Iron Man,
And then Spaghetti Man.
yeah, all those hacks, and then
Yeah.
the Spaghetti Man.
All unlicensed. This is the only licensed merchandise that
This
she's
is
actually
true.
working on. So,
Yeah.
at least we're doing it legit and above board. I mean, like, at the end of the day, we want to have fun. So it's like this is an equal representation of the movie. It's a fun movie. It's a quality movie. I mean, these guys put a lot of work and hard effort. I mean, not that I didn't, but these guys really did, because without the people to actually craft the movie together, there is no movie. And you know, I think that's what actually surprises people, because it's such a look at us, and then they see the movie and it's like, oh, it's a real movie.
Right.
I think that's the hardest thing to sell, and maybe film festivals make it harder because of the type of content that's normally here. Is you hear Spaghettiman and you see this, and it's like, no, you need to come see it. Like, it's a legitimate film that we took very seriously. Right. I think the poster helps. I think the poster looks really great. I think Ben helps showing up, and they're like, oh, this is a legitimate thing in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a very...
You're not just a bunch of clowns just trying to pull wool.
I'm not a clown.
Yeah. No, let me correct you. We are clowns, but we're really damn good at it.
45 pounds.
45 pounds. And we did reuse some. We were able to reuse... the dojo day was the best day to reuse it, because the thing about that day that made it a little, not stressful, but anytime spaghetti touched the floor, we had to immediately clean it. Right. We had to like pick it up and clean it. So that stuff we were able to reuse because it's like a soft floor and it didn't get too dirty. But a lot of the times it was thrown on concrete or thrown on the floor of a dusty house or something like that. So
or into Echo Park Lake.
Or into, yeah, accidentally thrown into a lake, which turned into a beautiful picture. And 45 pounds cooked. I think what really helped with that was Eric Friend, who did post sound for us, and he and I talked on the phone for like 20 minutes one day, and he just had all these great ideas to make the sound work. Because originally in our first cut, like, I think it was like
it was like really not good,
really terrible sound that all of us were watching it like, oh no. But then he came up with like, it was like I think he told me it was like a bullet, the sound of a bullet in reverse, slowed down, no, sped up, and then like 2 or 3 sounds mixed together and messed with, and filters that he made it sound like it was coming out of a hand, and immediately it changed it. So
it's a world of difference.
I give credit to him. That's
Eric Friend is an amazing sound editor. Because like we've obviously been with the movie the whole time. There are cuts of this movie on hard drives that don't have that sound, and the whole movie is an excruciating experience without the whoosh.
Yeah, I think there was also a cut where I didn't cut late enough that you see it in his hand before he throws it out. There's a lot of that, so I'll give myself 10% credit for that looking good. And Eric, sound is very important. It made that work.